Questions, Tape 2. Question: is man's intention enough to save him? Answer: an intention which leads to the appropriate intended action being taken may save a person. An intention which does not result in determination in an ardent effort to bring about the intended result cannot do so. To have an intention is to have an aim, a purpose. It is also a state of mind and a commitment. To have a clear intention means to have realized clearly what one desires and the direction one wants to follow. Intention clearly realized means attaining the appropriate state of mind and then seeking out the means to achieve the purpose envisioned. Intention is the spring of all actions. Whether conscious or not conscious, intention gives a person the right to claim responsibility for particular actions. It is also the firm ground of will and power to bring about particular results. Everything related to man himself and the world in general in its inception or continuance depends on some intention. Without intention, it is impossible to bring something into being and ensure its continuance. Everything first comes into the mind as an idea, and then one goes on to make plans for it. The idea may, later, become a reality as a result of resolve and perseverance. Without the initial idea, clarified as an intention, even to initiate a project will be difficult, probably futile. Without perseverance, intent sustained through determination and resolve, no project can be carried through to the purposed conclusion. With regard to good and bad deeds, intention has a decisive role. The quality of intention can act like a cure-all that overcomes every disease or disadvantage. Equally, it can be the hidden catastrophe which destroys all one's achievements in a single moment. Some deeds appear very small and insignificant, but such is the efficacy and the power of the intention within them. They can realize consequences of huge dimensions, just as a single grain can turn into a mighty harvest. Conversely, some efforts which appear mighty on the scale of great mountains may come to nothing or be insignificant as a result of bad intentions. All actions undertaken in the consciousness of servanthood to God, such as sitting or standing or bowing in prayer or fasting, or otherwise refraining from some permitted pleasures for a while, increase one's rewards and lifts one's spiritual state to a high level. On the other hand, the very same or similar actions done with a consciousness far removed from that of servanthood result in nothing but suffering and punishment. Man pleases God as a result of actions done or renounced, and so attains the best stature, and yet he may do the same or other actions 1,000 times, but without the proper intention, and so these actions amount to nothing in the eyes of God. Intention is a key that opens the door of the infinite in the finite, transient world. Used properly, this key opens the door to eternal happiness. For if the daily, weekly, and monthly duties are performed properly and sincerely, the benefits and rewards for them are not measured according to the time spent on them in this world, but according to the degree they involve and affect the whole life. If this key is not used properly, it leads to eternal misery and wretchedness. That is why a believer may attain paradise as a result of even a short life in this world, whereas an unbeliever who has lived as long will attain eternal punishment and misery. Otherwise, according to outward justice, every person must be rewarded as much as his good and virtue, or chastised as much as his wrongs and vice. And this would mean his staying in paradise as long as he lived righteously in the world, or in hell as long as he committed evil in the world. However, Eternity is the ultimate end for both the good and the bad, and there is no other choice apart from that. So, eternal happiness or punishment lies in the quality and content of one's intention.